Hey guys, welcome back to another What's for Dinner. So in this What's for Dinner, I'm going to be sharing 4 super easy recipes. All of these recipes took me less than 20 minutes to put together. And so they're basically like 20-minute meals. So if you want to see the 4 meals that I cooked this week, then just keep watching. Okay, so this first meal is going to be nachos, and I'm just getting started working on my cheese dip. So I'm using half a block of Velveeta, 1 can of Rotel, I just get the Walmart brand, and then half a can of milk. And then I'm just going to put this in my little crock pot and let it melt until it is time for dinner. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my beef mixture. I'm just using 2 pounds of ground beef, and then I'm going to do some minced onion with some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And then after everything is all cooked, I'm going to season with 1 packet of taco seasoning and then just a half a packet of ranch seasoning. Normally I will do a whole packet of ranch, but I actually had already used half of it when I made ranch earlier this week. So I'm just using a half package, but it's always really good. If you've not tried this combination, I highly recommend it. I don't know, it just has such a unique flavor and it's just so good. My family loves it. Also, normally I would go ahead and drain the grease off of my hamburger, but it didn't have very much grease, so I did not have to do that this time. I actually did end up having to add just a little bit of water just to, incorporate everything together. Also, the chopper that I use to chop up my hamburger, I actually just got it at my local Walmart. I think it was like under $5. If I can find one on either Walmart or Amazon, I will link it down below for you. But these are so popular and I think everybody has them now. Okay, so here is what my plate looks like after it was all done. I just topped it with the cheese dip, black olives, and then hamburger. So next I'm moving on to my bagel pizzas. I had some bagels in my fridge that we really needed to just use up. So I was just racking my brain trying to figure out something that I could use these for. So I thought I could do bagel pizza. So I am just browning up some sausage. I just got the regular flavor, and I do not season sausage because it already has so much flavor and it's already so salty to begin with. So I don't put any seasoning on it. So here I am just browning it up, and then I'm going to be adding some pizza sauce. I don't throw the whole jar in because I don't know how much I will need. And I was thinking ahead, I did not want my bagels to be soggy. So I'm just kind of adding in just a little bit at a time, mixing it up, and then I'll add more if I feel like I need to, but with this sausage mixture, I only ended up adding about half of the jar. So I use my electric skillet all the time. It's a copper chef one. I actually got it on Black Friday last year from Walmart.com, but I will have one linked down below, and I love it. I use it all the time. Okay, so now we are going to get started assembling the bagel pizzas. So I have just melted some butter, and I added some minced garlic and some parsley, and I'm just brushing the bagels with this. I think next time what I will do is actually put these in the oven before I put all the meat and stuff on it. I did put these in the toaster to toast them up just a little bit, but I think after I put the butter on them, they needed just a little bit more toasting. So I think I will definitely do that next time. But after I get all this on here, I'm just gonna start assembling, and I'm just going to put mozzarella cheese and then the sausage mixture on 4 of them, and then I'm going to use pepperoni on the other 4. I did not know how my family was gonna feel about these, so I did half and half. And honestly, we like the sausage ones better. They just had a really good flavor. Even my kids ate these. My husband ended up having like 4 of these, and then I took 2 for lunch the next day. So they definitely did not go to waste, and it was such a good way to use up these bagels. Back in elementary school and even high school, we used to have these for breakfast, which, you know, was back in the old days. I actually graduated in 2012, and I think that was the year that Michelle Obama took over the school lunch menus. But anyways, we used to have these all the time. So I am actually baking these in the oven at 400. I did about 15 minutes, and I did check on them after about 10 minutes. But they did end up having to go the whole 15, and these heated up the second day really nicely as well. Also, you might be thinking why I put the cheese down first, and that's because I did not want the bagels to get soggy. Did have about half of the sausage mixture left over, so I actually just froze that, and then I have that to be used on my meal plan on the upcoming week. My husband had just gotten home from work this day, and if you can see in the background, he was trying to distract me by ripping off his belt while I was cooking dinner. Alright, so here's what it looked like when they were all assembled, and here is what it looked like when they came out of the oven. They look so amazing, and we just served these on the side with some beefaroni, just, you know, the Chef Boyardee. I did have some of that in my pantry that I wanted to use up. So this next recipe, I know you guys have been waiting for it. It is funeral potatoes, also known as cheesy potatoes, baby shower potatoes. I don't know. These are supposed to be the potatoes that you bring to people, you know, whenever you want to bring them something after they've had a baby or a funeral or, you know, whatever. But I will have the recipe that I used linked down below. This was actually my first time making it, and of course I added some ham to it to make it more of a meal. It's actually meant to just be like a side dish, but this turned out really, really good, and it makes a ton. So I'm definitely gonna have to freeze some of it, but it was really good. And my only tip for you is make sure that you thaw out your potatoes before you cook them, because I ended up having to cook it way longer than what the recipe called for. I actually let my potatoes thaw out overnight just in the fridge, and they were still just a little bit frozen, so they definitely could have went a little bit longer, and next time I will let them thaw all the way out before I put this together. But I ended up cooking these in the oven on 300 for 20 minutes, and then I took it out and I added the cheese, and then 20 more minutes, and then whenever I took it out at 40 minutes, it was still not done in the middle, so I put it in for another 20 minutes, and it ended up being perfect. Also, I did want to mention that you can use diced ham, but I find that the diced ham is a little bit tougher and it's not as juicy as the regular ham. So that is why I chose to use deli ham, or I don't know, lunch meat, whatever you want to call it. But I actually do not like the diced ham anymore. It's just really tough, and I would much rather just use lunch meat. Also, we are just going to serve these on the side with some crescent rolls, and to make it, you know, taste a little bit better, I sprinkled the crescent rolls with some garlic powder, and they were really good. So here is the first 20 minutes. I'm taking it out, and I'm just adding just a little bit of cheese in there, to the top, and some parsley. I did not want to add a ton of cheese because there was already quite a bit of cheese in the mixture, but I just added parsley to make it look a little bit more pretty. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it came out of the oven. This was so good, you guys. If you've not tried these, I highly recommend. And my husband loved them, my kids love them, and I'm actually having it for lunch tomorrow. So this last meal is the Copycat KFC Famous Bowls. So I'm just starting out by peeling some potatoes. I'm just going to make some mashed potatoes. Let me know down below, do you guys use a potato peeler or do you just peel it with a knife? I used to peel my potatoes with a knife, but I was finding that I was wasting so much of the potato. So I have been using a potato peeler for about a year now, and I just really prefer it. So here I had just put my potatoes on the stove to get them to boil. And then I'm using these air fried chicken strips. Guys, these are really good. They don't taste like any other frozen chicken strips that I have ever tried. So I highly recommend if you can try them. I took forever to actually find these in my Walmart. I had been looking for a long time and I finally found them, but they are definitely worth it. So here I am just making some chicken gravy, and then my potatoes are boiling. They are just about done. And then here is what the chicken tenders look like when they come out of the oven. I just cooked those for 20 minutes. Also, I'm putting together some corn. So I'm adding some butter to the bottom of my bowl, and then I have steamed the bag of corn in the microwave already. So I put the butter in the bottom of the bowl so that I could put the corn on top, so the butter would have a chance to melt before I stirred it all up. And this is just how I've always done it. It just works really well. So here I'm just putting together my mashed potatoes. I actually learned how to make mashed potatoes from my mom. So I'm just draining the mashed potatoes in a strainer. I'm going to add it to this blue bowl. And then add just quite a bit of butter, actually. It was probably, I don't know, 2 heaping tablespoons. And this is just how my mom always did it. And I always use a mixer to do my mashed potatoes. It just works so well. I don't even have a potato masher. I just use the mixer. Also, I had this heavy cream on hand, and I was just trying to get it used up, you know, with whatever I could use. So I'm just using that. Normally, I would just use milk. And I'm just adding until I get to the texture that I want. And if you've ever made mashed potatoes before, you'll know whenever you see that texture. I think I ended up adding, I don't know, probably 1/4 of a cup, and I used 5 potatoes. So these turned out really good. My family always loves whenever I make homemade mashed potatoes. And potatoes are like my favorite meal, or my favorite, I don't know, type of food. So there is that. And this is what the KFC bowl looked like when it was done. I put my corn on the side just because I didn't want it all on top of each other, but these were so good. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you did enjoy, please share it with your friends. And if you make any of these recipes, be sure to tag me over on Instagram. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.